Saune Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Jinendra, Jai Swaminarayan, Sairam, and good evening to you all. I hope you're all fine. As I said, good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good
Thank you.
evening.
Good evening,
Thank you.
Panaben.
Thank you. Good evening to you all, and a very warm welcome to today's GAA London's Health and Wellbeing session on Zoom. We are so glad you could join us for the special and timely session focused on the topic that touches many lives, anxiety, and how to better manage it. As you know, my name is Panna and I'll be your host for this evening. We are proud to bring this session to you and most. Okay, where am I? And to bring this session to you as part of our ongoing commitment to community well-being and mental health support. Whether you've personally experienced anxiety, support someone who does, or are simply curious about new tools for more calm, and this space is for you. So tonight we are honored to welcome Nisha Jadva, our guest speaker, who brings with her a wealth of knowledge and practical strategies. She'll walk us through a clear understanding of what anxiety is, ways to reframe anxious thoughts, simply actionable tools to manage anxiety in daily life. And for those who wish to participate, a gentle guided group hypnosis session to help us relax and reconnect. So please note, if you're currently driving or having a history of epilepsy or hallucination, we recommend skipping the hypnosis portion for a safety reason. The session will last around an hour, and we encourage you to stay till the end for the full experience. So let's take this time for ourselves to breathe, to learn, and to support one another in a safe and open space. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over to our guest speaker for the evening. Nishaji, over to you.
Thank you, Bana. Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's session. As Bana said, is all about anxiety. So right now, the world's population is experiencing more anxiety than ever before. And if you are one of those people, I am confident that this session today is going to be really useful to you. As Bana mentioned, the session is in 4 parts. The first part will be just getting an idea of what anxiety actually is. The second part is about reframing anxiety. The third part will be practical tools that you can use immediately if you feel a bout of anxiety come up. And the fourth part is to give you an experience of the type of work that I do, especially around hypnosis, which most people shy away from because they're not really aware of what it is. But today, hopefully, we will put all those myths aside and show you what it's really about. So, because this is a safe and judgment free space, I would like to kickstart this session with an idea of how many of you experience anxiety or ever have experienced anxiety. So, if you just type in me in the comment section, and I will get a really quick overview as to how many of you are going through this at the moment. I'll give you guys a minute to do that. Okay, so you know there's quite a few of us all in the same boat. So let's first, for those of you who've never experienced anxiety, let's help you understand what it is, and also those people who are experiencing it. I want you to also get a better understanding of what it is as well. So think of anxiety as your brain's overly helpful and overly protective assistant. And the reason for that is because your brain only has one job, and its job is to protect you. Our brains are designed to keep us alive, and it will go to whatever extreme necessary to do that, even if it's not helpful for you. But that's not how your brain sees it. So, as far as the brain is concerned, it's really proud of itself and excited when it finds a way to stop you from dying. It sounds extreme, I know, but the brain's job is to keep you alive. And that means it will do things that doesn't support us. So in a nutshell, anxiety is just your brain trying to help and is just overly dramatic about it. The good news about this is you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just your brain making a mountain out of a molehill. So, for those of you who experience anxiety already, I know I don't need to tell you what it feels like. But for those who have never experienced it or don't know if they have experienced it, some of the main symptoms that come up are things like a racing heart, thoughts that spiral like a tornado. You may get headaches. Sometimes your heart can feel out of rhythm. But everyone experiences anxiety differently. So just check in with yourself. When you feel a change of emotion within you, just check yourself and see if there's any physical symptoms that come up. So why does this happen? Why do we experience anxiety? The reason we experience anxiety is because we all have a thought, and that thought triggers the oldest part of our brain called the amygdala. The amygdala is the part of the brain that instantly puts us into a fight, flight, or freeze state. Okay, so when we have a thought and that thought doesn't support us, it fires it over to the amygdala. The amygdala is shouting, danger, danger, as though there's something literally about to kill you. Even if it's just an email, but your brain doesn't know the difference. It doesn't know the difference between you reading an email that's triggering the amygdala or whether you are being chased by a tiger, which is triggering the amygdala. It doesn't know the difference. Okay, so then what happens is once the amygdala is triggered, it then revs up your nervous system. Okay, think of like a Lamborghini racing car that's about to shoot off from the start line. Okay, it revs up the nervous system so much, and when it does that, your brain releases copious amounts of adrenaline and cortisol. Okay, and so you will feel out of sync. Your whole nervous system at this point becomes dysregulated, and there's just not enough like calm down juice in your body right now. Okay, now anxiety is actually way more common than most of us even know about. So there was a report that came out where it mentioned that 37.1% of women experience anxiety every single day, compared to men, which is 29.9%, and that's just the UK. In 2024, anxiety in children and teens went more than double to 204,000 compared to pre-COVID times. Okay, that's a huge spike. For it to go over double is a huge spike in the space of a year. So these numbers are extraordinarily high. Out of those numbers that I just shared, 27 to 37% of people received treatment. Almost half of those people kept it a secret. Maybe they didn't know that they're experiencing, or maybe they did know and for whatever reason they decided that it would be better not to share that information. The reason why so many people didn't receive treatment is down to largely three things. The first is the stigma that's attached to having a mental health issue, concern, whatever you want to call it. The second is the lack of access to treatment and the right type of help. And the third, and this one is really important, the third is not recognizing that they could actually ask for help. Now, to me, that is like the biggest one, because we sit silently going through all these mental health issues like anxiety, which can be so crippling for so many people, and not know that there is proper help out there to overcome these issues. Now, I understand that society has put a negative stigma on therapy, but getting the right type of help is so crucial to sustaining your life and maintaining your mind, because when we don't have our health, and our health, by that I mean our physical health, emotional health, mental health, it's really hard to live a happy and healthy life and to prolong it as much as possible as well. And asking for help is one of the most empowering things you could ever do, because you are recognizing that you need help and you are taking active steps to help yourself. And when we can take active steps to help ourselves, this is a sign of strength. This is a sign of self love. This is a sign of self respect. So, despite whatever stigma society has attached to therapy, I would like to honestly express just how wonderful it is when you go and get yourself the right type of help. This leads us nicely into part two, where we can reframe anxiety should it come up, and also like how you can see anxiety instead of it being this crippling, unhelpful mental health issue. What's another way we can look at this?
Nisha ji,
Yes.
can I just interrupt? Sorry, before we carry on to the second part, would you like to give your intro? Because I think people are still waiting for your intro.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So
Thank
I
you.
was a lawyer and I became a hypnotherapist a couple of years ago. I trained with Marissa Pierce, one of the best hypnotherapists in the world. And ever since then, I've just been helping clients transform their pain into purpose, helping them overcome like lifetimes of trauma, so that it works for them. And I work with a whole bunch of different issues like weight issues, infertility, anxiety, I mean, smoking cessation. Most hypnotherapists can do that, so that's not something I try to focus on so much. I like to focus on more the things that people really find difficult to let go of, physical ailments that may come up. So that's just a very brief overview of some of the things that I work with. However, there is a lot more that I can work with. And if you ever want to know if something that you are experiencing is something that I can help you with, then email me, send me a message, find out, and we can always take it from there. Does that help? Okay, good. All right. So let's move on to part two, which is about the reframing of anxiety. So anxiety is just, think of it as alertness. It's your mind being very alert about something that's going to happen in the future. And it's not always that bad, really. What you could do, so when you feel anxiety, usually that's triggered because you're thinking something like, let's pretend you're looking for a job, and your narrative may sound something like, what if I don't get the job? What if I perform really badly in the interview? What if I don't say the right things? Okay. Those kind of questions, those kind of what if questions, that narrative is what would trigger anxiety. What you could do is flip the what if and say, what if I did get the job? What if I did perform well in the interview? What if I did say the right things? So you can use your current way of thinking on the flip side and use it for creative problem solving as opposed to panic spirals. Okay, so anxiety is just like your imagination, but without a leash. Okay, it just needs training, and that's all it is. And what some people find really helpful is to give that feeling of anxiety a name. So let's pick the name Nancy. I don't know why Nancy, but that's the first name that came to my head. Okay, so it could be like, you talk to the anxiety as though it's a person and not a part of you. So when you feel anxiety, you say something like, "Thanks for the concern, Nancy, but I've got this." And what it does is, with you giving the anxiety a name, you create separation between you and the anxiety as a symptom. And what that does, the reason that is important is because it massively reduces that feeling of overwhelm. Okay, it will not rev up your nervous system so much. You won't feel as dysregulated. And so when you feel much more calmer, even if Nancy pops up, right, you will still feel that you can think with enough clarity and continue doing whatever it is that you are doing and bring yourself back into the present moment. And also, you don't actually have to believe everything that you think, right? Your thoughts are just like clouds. You can't stop them from coming. It's not about positive thinking as much as a lot of sources say it is. It's not about getting rid of negative thoughts. You can't do that, because if you go back to what I said earlier about your brain's job is to keep you alive, negative thoughts is just a natural part of that. So if you do get negative thoughts, there's nothing wrong with that. You just don't interact with them. That's all it is. You don't have to interact with them. It's a cloud moving across the sky. So when that negative thought comes up, allow it to sweep across your brain. Okay? And it will. You'll be surprised how quickly each of those thoughts disappear when we don't interact with them. Right? Your brain will dramatize everything that you interact with, good and bad. It can work in your favor and not in your favor. Usually with anxiety, it's not in your favor. And this is why you can just allow those clouds to pass. Now, some of you may be thinking, okay, Nisha, that's, all very well and a bit easier said than done. And I fully understand that. So what I'm going to share with you now are 4 practical tools that you can use immediately should Nancy, the anxiety, pop up. Okay. And I actually encourage you to try some of these now as well, while we're all together, all in the same boat. And that will just also help prepare you for any instances where you may need to use these tools. Okay, so the first one is what we call box breathing. It only takes about 1 minute. And what you do is you inhale for 4 seconds. So everyone give this a go. Let's all inhale for 4 seconds and hold it for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds and hold it for 4 seconds. So you can see how easy this is. And if you just repeat that same exercise 4 times, usually that will really calm your nervous system back down and will turn off the alarm in the amygdala and bring you back to the prefrontal cortex, which is where you do want to be thinking from. Okay, the prefrontal cortex at the front of your brain is the bit that we use for logic, for thinking, and our creativity. So the next tool is what we call the 3-3-3 rule. And this means when Nancy pops up, name 3 things you can see right now. So let's practice this now. Name 3 things. You don't have to say out loud, just say in your mind. Name 3 things that you can see right now. Touch 3 different things around you. And say 3 things that you can hear. And what this does is it brings you back to now, back to this very present moment where the panic is not happening, because anxiety is usually about something in the future. That's what anxiety is. So anytime you come back to present and you come back to now, you won't be experiencing anxiety. You cannot be present and experience anxiety at the same time. It's not physically possible to do that. Right. The third thing is like an anxiety detox. This is basically like a brain dump journaling. Okay. Set a 5-minute timer on your phone, write down everything that you're worried about. No filters, just go wild, write everything down. It doesn't matter what it is because nobody's going to see it. Okay. The point of this exercise is you just get it all out. And then when the timer is up, either rip that page out and throw it away or keep it and laugh at it for another time. Okay, because you'll find a lot of the times when we look back at the things that cause anxiety, you probably will laugh at it. Okay, so think of anxiety a bit like a needy partner. It just wants some attention, it just wants to be heard. So let the anxiety talk and then move on. But don't do that bit with your partner because then I will get in trouble for that. Right.
Nishaji,
Yes.
there's a question there anonymously. Um, what he's asking, will this, how can I say, will this help with dementia? Person who has had dementia, will this help repeating themselves? Like you said, anxiety, you need to repeat 3 times to remind yourself and remember what you're also thinking about. So will this help with the person who's had dementia or coming to the stage of dementia?
No, in is the
It would.
short answer because that's a completely different type of neurological issue,
Okay.
which would require a different type of treatment.
Okay.
So that wouldn't be dealt with as the same as anxiety. Anxiety is usually just like a fear of the future, something happening in the future, whereas dementia, it's a physical neurological issue,
Okay.
usually that has been created over a span of time. You don't just wake up one day and have it.
No,
So
it will
that would
grow
require,
gradually.
yeah, so that would require other assessments and treatments. And then depending on what comes out of that, then there may be possibility for a chat about it. But not these kind of tools here is just for anxiety.
Okay.
Or
So
when
what is your okay. So what is your advice for people who are elderly and suffer from anxiety or not work or office related?
for older people who suffer with anxiety, so this would still work for them if they experience anxiety, or if they want to have a session of personalized hypnotherapy,
Yeah.
that can also help. Usually, anxiety stems from a childhood fear, something that was there from a long time ago, or some underlying deep belief. And when we extract that during hypnotherapy and reframe it at a subconscious level, then real changes can happen through that.
Okay. So can you explain the difference between everyday stress and clinical anxiety?
There's not going to be huge amounts of difference between stress and anxiety because some people will say that when they feel anxiety, they also feel stress. They both create very similar outcomes, like not being able to think straight.
Mm.
They may cause physical symptoms like sweating, heart palpitations, for example, irregular breathing. You may find that you start breathing a bit more faster, a bit more shallower. And both stress and anxiety, they create the same thing. Sometimes those terms are used to describe each other. However, stress is usually like in the moment, like right now, I'm reading an email and I'm getting stressed about it. Anxiety is usually something that hasn't happened yet. So that
Okay.
would be the biggest differentiator. But in terms of like the symptoms, they won't differ so much.
So would you say anxiety is equal to worry? Some sort of worries?
Yeah. Yes, I would. Worry, fear, the same thing. Stress about the future. That's all anxiety.
Okay. So what are the some of the early warning signs that anxiety might be getting out of control? How would we know?
It's so different for everyone, and there's levels to everything as well. This is where you have to be in tune with yourself. So, for example, if you don't usually have irregular breathing, that'll be one of your signs. Maybe if you find that when you experience anxiety and you get more headaches,
Right.
that could be one thing. Like everybody is so different. There's no one size fits all.
Mm.
Some people have really spiraling thoughts that it just drives them nuts. Whereas other people may not get that. Some people really find it hard to do general day-to-day tasks. So it's really about understanding yourself and understanding how are you on a day-to-day basis. What can you usually do? And when anxiety crops up, how does that impact you? So this is there is a level of self-awareness that is required
Mm.
for that.
Okay. So before you continue, just last question, that my anxiety is caused by not being able to do things like I used to.
Mm,
It takes me longer to walk,
mm,
maybe because of my heart condition as well. I can't get appointment with doctors. I
mm.
can't get to social events. In my mind, I'm saying, yes, I want to go. I want to do whatever I want to, but
Yeah.
it's stopping me. And what can I do?
The answer to that would be hypnotherapy, 100%. Because those things that have come up, those are symptoms. They're just symptoms. The reason those symptoms are coming up is because there's a deep underlying root. And when we extract that root and reframe it where it is, if we meet it where it is and change it there,
Mm.
then what happens is the symptoms change. And what happens with when the symptoms change is that we behave differently, we think differently. When we behave and think differently, our life starts panning out differently. So I had a lady come in who suffers with social anxiety where if she's in a space where it's friends and family, she just cannot operate. She cannot operate in that space. Whereas when she goes to a work event, she's fine socializing there. And now may seem strange because you're socializing in both. The only difference is the type of people. So when we run things through hypnotherapy, we can really extract like what is really going on for you because sometimes what we think the issue is isn't actually the issue. And that comes up a lot with my clients. Like for example, a client came in for a fear of driving, but it turns out it had nothing to do with driving. It was something else that we found out during her session when we put her into hypnosis. And the reason we go into hypnosis is because that allows us to access the part of the mind that is storing all of these emotions and traumas that have stemmed from our first 7 years of life.
Okay.
The first 7 years of life, um, they create a program for us in our mind. When we get to about 8 years old, that part kind of closes down, and we spend the rest of our life living in accordance to that program. What happens is, although that program supports us when we are children, it doesn't usually support us when we are adults, and this is why we experience so many problems, physical symptoms, um, yeah, emotional, or different types of mental symptoms. All these things come, issues in relationships. So many different things come up where in adulthood, not knowing that it stemmed from our childhood largely from there.
Okay. Um, the, continuing that question, how can I reframe these simple anxieties? Do you have any techniques?
Yes, as we mentioned earlier in the session, so if anxiety is, so the way to reframe anxiety is like, my brain right now is just majorly alert.
Yeah.
I'm just super alert right now. Okay, your brain wants to keep you safe. That's all it wants to do. It doesn't care about anything else. I'll give you an example, a real life example. This woman, um, she had to commute for work, and she was always stuck in traffic, and she would use words like, um, this traffic is going to kill me. This work is going to kill me. I hate going to work. Right. And she would use this every day. She would use language like this, not realizing what she was saying, and definitely not knowing the impact that this was going to have on her. What ended up happening is she became bedridden. And the only reason we were able to uncover this is because of hypnotherapy, because we can get into hypnosis and find out what happened at a subconscious level. And this is what happened. It was all her language patterns, right? Because your subconscious doesn't know the difference between right or wrong. It doesn't know if you are joking or not joking. It takes everything literally. So the moment you start saying things like, this thing's going to kill me, it's really going to harm me, or this, I'm dying listening to Nancy go on about this thing, right? Your brain takes it literally, and it will do whatever it has to do to keep you safe. It will go to any extreme. And this is how we get diseases and illnesses and sometimes disabilities as well. So many crippling things can happen as a result of this. This is why it's so important to be in tune with yourself and never feel bad about asking for help. Never, because you deserve to live a life that's healthy and happy, right? And when you can live happy and healthy, you will have a longer lifespan.
Mm. Yeah.
Never be ashamed to ask for help.
Never be
And I hope
shy.
and I hope that really resonates for a lot of people, and kind of starts to break down these stigmas that society has created around therapy.
Mm. Okay. I don't want to read the questions from the chat, but let's ask the participant if they've got any questions before we continue.
Okay.
Any questions from the participants?
Hello, yes, I have a question. You know, can you tell me if, hypnotherapy can realistically help somebody who's got ADHD? You know, that would, have
It
you dealt
can.
with,
hmm
yeah.
It can help with that. Because if you think about ADHD, I mean, you're going to get conflicting information about ADHD wherever you go and depending on who you speak to. But it's attention deficit, right? So what
Mm,
does that tell us? Attention is a skill. Skills can be learned. So when we break things down to its most basic form and use a bit of logic behind it, a lot of things can be resolved. And with hypnotherapy, these things, like, they crop up because there's something underlying that's creating it to happen. All these things that we experience are just symptoms. They are all symptoms.
mm,
And depending on the severity, it also depends on, if the person is on any medications as well, what kind of lifestyle they live as well.
mm.
But yeah, hypnotherapy is such a powerful tool.
And have you helped people or anybody with particularly ADHD? Have you?
Um,
In
Not directly, but
Okay,
it can be done.
it can be done, yeah. And I mean, how many sessions do they need if they go down that route?
That will vary per individual, because we could say like 2 sessions, for example. But if something comes up in a session, you would never want to leave it um, undone. You would never want to, not
Mm,
work on that and make sure that the person really gets the full 360 treatment for that
mm,
through hypnotherapy.
yeah.
So I would, no therapy should really give you a specific number of sessions. If they do, I would question that and question how effective that is. So I'll give you an example. Up to date, I have the most number of sessions my clients have ever had is 3, max 4. But that doesn't mean to say that some clients will need more. Some have only needed 1. It really, really depends on everyone and their severity of whatever childhood traumas and emotions and issues that they've collected in their subconscious as well over time.
Hi,
There,
Nisha.
there's Mayuri who's been waiting. Mayuri?
Thank you.
I have got 2 questions. First of all, is it advisable for somebody who's suffering from anxiety or depression to take medication for it?
I'm not a doctor, so I can't say yes or no. Some people will. However, with my background, I would say you can do it without medication.
You can do it without medication.
I've done that with so many clients who've had, and it's all been successful. All of them. You absolutely can do it without medication, but I will never tell anybody to not take it. I'm not in that position to do that.
Okay, fine. And the other question, when you reframe the brain, when you remove the anxiety from after giving hypnosis,
Yes.
does it cause any pathological changes in the brain?
Does it cause what changes, sorry?
Any pathological changes in the brain?
It will create neurological changes. Yeah. So the whole point of hypnotherapy is to create new neural pathways so that you can naturally think differently. And that will happen all through your normal day-to-day activities.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between something like hypnotherapy and something like psychotherapy, talk therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, the biggest difference is the parts of the mind that we are working with. A lot of the therapies work with the conscious mind. The problem with that is it requires a lot of thinking. Like you have to literally think about what you are doing and then change it in the moment and do that consistently for a period of time, which is going to be different for everybody in order for that change to really take place at a neurological level. Hypnotherapy, what it does is it taps in immediately to that coding system to create that change. Then we close the coding system. So then over time, you will notice that everything you start doing begins to change in the way that benefits you.
Okay, so hypnosis works in the subconscious mind.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Suresh Bhai, there is another call for.
Oh, hello, Nisha. Sorry, 2 questions.
Yes.
First of all, is anxiety connected to phobia? Any type of phobias?
Phobia is a much stronger issue. It can be, but not necessarily.
Okay. And secondly, you explained a couple of things to start with to get rid of anxiety. And the first one was breathing. Second was you said 333. You visualize 3 things in front of you. So
Yeah.
can you explain that in detail, please?
The 333 bit.
Yes, please.
Okay, so the 333 one is where you are sitting right now.
Yes.
Have a look at just name 3 different things that you can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then the next one is physically touch 3 different things around you right now.
Okay.
Okay. And the other one is say out loud 3 things that you can hear.
Okay.
It could be an aeroplane, could be birds, it could be a doorbell,
Okay.
it could be your wife nagging you. To be expert, right?
Always, always.
That's
Okay,
what it is. And what that
wonderful.
does, it just brings you back to here, because when you experience anxiety, you're thinking about something in the future. You're thinking about something that hasn't happened yet.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so
This
doing
is
that 333 brings you back here right now.
okay. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
There's Cookie
Thank
Ben. There's Cookie Ben before we continue with your session. Cookie Ben?
Oh, hi, Nisha. Thanks,
Hi.
Banya. I put it on the chat, but just to say that I never used to suffer from this before. Now, every time I go to the hospital or the doctor,
Mm,
my BP just shoots up, and
okay.
they call it a white coat syndrome,
Mm,
right? And whatever you do, any of these techniques that you follow, none of them work while
mm,
I am at the hospital or the doctor.
mm,
And I was just wondering, I've tried all the techniques that you've outlined,
mm.
but it still happens. And as soon as I go home or out of the surgery or out of the hospital, I am absolutely fine. So to me, it seems like anxiety. What, any thoughts?
Absolutely. I would strongly suggest for you to run it through hypnotherapy. There's something definitely that's deeper in there that's creating you to feel like that.
Right.
I would,
Do
that's
they,
what I would do.
in terms of hypnotherapy, if you are a very strong minded person, right,
Mm.
does hypnotherapy work for everybody or other people that hypnotherapy doesn't work for as well?
Hypnotherapy, I would argue, works for everybody. It
Right,
doesn't matter how strong-minded you are. I work with CEOs, leaders, I've worked with celebrities and TV presenters. It doesn't matter how strong-minded you are. Hypnosis is a hypnosis. And what hypnosis is just that I'm going to run through this a little bit later anyway, but it's just a natural state of the mind, right? And we go through it every single day and we're not even aware that we experience it every single day. So think of things like when we're watching TV, when we are reading a really good book and we get engrossed in it. Think of when you're watching a movie and you cry or you laugh, or like you watch a horror movie and you get scared. You're in hypnosis all of those times. Think of when you're driving to a familiar location and you look back and think, how did I even drive here? I don't remember the journey, right? We've all experienced that at some point. You was in hypnosis that whole time you was driving,
right,
right? And you didn't even know. We are going through hypnosis all the time. So what a hypnotherapist would do is they will intentionally put you in that state of mind and then work with you that way. So, yes, even if you are strong minded, hypnotherapy will definitely still work. You just have to want it and just follow what the person says. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do in a general hypnotherapy session, especially one with me. I can't speak for all hypnotherapists, but for the sessions that I hold, my client just has to show up, just commit. If you want the session, you come, and I will do what I do best. And we will have sessions until we get the change that you want. And it's as simple as that. There's no fluff about it.
right. Just just one other thing, you mentioned that all of these diseases and everything are caused
Mm,
by probably mind over matter or whatever. Are you able to deal with things like that
yes,
with
some of them.
hypnosis?
Not everything.
Right,
You don't have to be a doctor to do it. Um, there's symptoms. There's symptoms for something. I had a lady who came to me who had a lot of lumps in her body. She paid thousands and thousands of pounds on private medical treatment. No doctor was able to tell her why she got these lumps. Cancer was ruled out. So she came and did hypnotherapy, and this lady was in severe pain for 7 years, and she came for a hypnotherapy session, and it changed the course of her life. She didn't need medication. She didn't need any more doctors, and those lumps went. Our body does a lot of things that we're not aware of because of deep underlying beliefs, traumas, negative energies that are stuck in our body. And when it creates these illnesses and diseases and things like that, it's its way of trying to get rid of it. It's trying to alert you to take action on what's going on in your body. It just wants to get rid of all this stuff.
Thank you, Cookie. That was wonderful. Really good question. So it's all in your mind. You have to take whatever the hypnotherapist is teaching you as well.
For
So,
a second, yeah, absolutely.
so I'd like Nisha Ji, I'd like you to continue with
Yeah,
your
thank you.
second session, ways to reframe anxious thoughts.
Yeah, okay. So we was on the brain dumping of what you could do if anxiety comes up. Brain dump it, write everything down. Like I said, either keep the piece of paper so you can laugh at it later, or just toss it in the bin, right? You don't need to keep it. Nobody's going to read it. Write it all down and move your body. Go for a 10-minute walk, stretch your arms and legs, right? Shake it out like a wet dog. You know, when a dog comes out the water and just shakes, do something like that. Because when you move, your emotions change. Motion changes emotion. And you can literally change your mood, right? Just doing a minute of star jumps, a minute of stretches, because it's releasing natural dopamine hormones in your body. And that's like makes you feel good. And you can't feel good and feel anxiety at the same time. Like it just doesn't work. If you can, that is super special and you should share that story, but it doesn't work. Okay. Now, what I want to do, because I am conscious that we have 10 minutes left, I really want to dive into the best part of the session, which is the relaxation. Okay. So for anyone who wants to participate, this will give you a flavor of what hypnosis is, and hopefully bust some of the myths that come with hypnosis. Like, I cannot make you do anything you don't want to do. I can't make you bark like a dog, or jump around the room if you don't want to do it. Like, I cannot do that. Your brain will not accept that. Okay. And what happens is when most people think of hypnosis, they do think about the kind of stage, entertainment, but we're not doing any of that today. Hypnosis is just a natural state of the mind, something you experience every day, as I mentioned earlier, when you're watching TV or you're driving to some place new that you already know. So think of hypnosis as relaxation. We just put the mind in a particular state that relaxes you, and that's all it does. It calms the mind down and allows someone like me to put empowering suggestions in your mind. And if your mind doesn't want to accept it, it won't. It just won't allow it to happen. Now, this is a generic session, so I'm not expecting any major transformations, and nor should you. If you want personal change, you would require personal sessions for that, because everybody is different. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is help you all feel really nice and relaxed. And all you need to do is follow my instructions. So if you are all in a safe place, not driving, not operating machinery, then please do get involved. And you might actually find that you sleep really well this evening as well. Okay, so let's get started. So everyone just take a moment and get yourself really comfortable. Slowly take a deep breath in and breathe out gently. And with each breath, you begin to feel calmer, more at ease, more present. And take another deep breath in. And slowly breathe out when you're ready. And you are feeling safe and supported right here in this moment. And one more time, slowly breathe in. And this time, as you breathe out, gently close your eyes all the way down. As your eyes close, You are letting go of any thoughts or worries, and you continue to breathe deeply and calmly. Allow your mind to relax your body. I want you to imagine a warm wave of relaxation beginning at the top of your head. Allow this warm sensation to gently spread to your eyes, soothing away any tension in your eyebrows, in your eyes. Let this relaxing wave spread down to your cheeks and your jaw, and you will feel the muscles in your face really beginning to soften now. Feel that warm wave flow gently down your neck, into your shoulders, into your arms, into your hands, melting away any tension or stiffness. You may even notice how warm your hands feel. Let your shoulders drop down away from your ears and allow them to become heavy and relaxed. As you continue to relax deeper and deeper, feel the warm wave continue down through your chest and your back, into your stomach, your hips, and all the way down to your legs and feet. With each breath you take, you feel yourself going deeper into this state of calm and tranquility. Know that you are safe and supported, and that you can return to this place of relaxation whenever you choose. Every part of you is calm, soft, peaceful. And while you are in this super relaxed state, nothing will bother you. Now, in this peaceful state, your mind becomes open and receptive to my voice, ready to receive positive suggestions that support your well-being. You are calm. You are centered. You are safe. Every breath you take in fills you with peace. Every breath you release lets go of any tension. You have the ability to feel grounded and steady. Your mind is clear. Your thoughts are gentle. You trust in your ability to handle anything that comes your way because you have phenomenal coping skills. You always find your way back to calm. You are resilient. You are strong. You are capable. Even when emotions rise, you remain rooted like a strong tree in the wind. You give yourself permission to feel so good. You allow calm to flow through your entire being. Your body knows how to relax. Your body knows how to let go because you are in control of your inner world, and your inner world is peaceful. From this day forward, your body remembers how to return to this calm state. This peace lives within you, always available to return to. You are strong and steady in the face of challenges. With every breath, you grow more confident in your ability to navigate life with calm and clarity. You are reactivating, regenerating, recreating, remanifesting the confidence you were born with because this is your birthright. You meet uncertainty with inner peace. You are resourceful, wise, and capable. Every challenge is an opportunity for growth, and you trust yourself to make the right choices one step at a time. You are grounded even when the world feels fast. Your calm presence is your superpower. You adapt with ease. Every day you are motivated and compelled and programmed and inspired to make your life work. And you know you can do it. You know how to pause, breathe, and respond with clarity. You are defined by your courage to rise above anxious thoughts. You listen to your body's signals with kindness, and you respond with care, compassion, and calm. In moments of stress, you return to your breath, and your breath brings you back home. Each time you cope with a challenge, you become more confident in your resilience. You are growing stronger, wiser, and more peaceful every day. You carry peace within you. You are never alone. You are supported by yourself, by the higher forces, and by life. I am now going to count you back to full awareness. And as I do, with each number, you become more aware of your surroundings, and you wake up feeling wonderful with a deep sense of calm, clarity, and confidence. So on the count of 5, gently bring your attention back to the room. On the count of 4, feel your breath in your body. On the count of 3, slowly begin to move your fingers and toes. On the count of 2, gently open up your eyes. On the count of 1, fill up your lungs and take a deep, deep breath. I hope nobody has fallen asleep already.
We'll try and wake them up.
That's right. That's right.
Everybody okay?
Yes, I
Yes,
think
that was really good. That was
It's
really calming.
yes, it's like
Um,
meditation, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. It was very good. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. There is one thought that I want to leave you all with before this session goes. I know there's a lot of people leaving already, and I really want to leave you with something to ponder on, which is faith and fear both require you to believe in something you can't see, and you get to choose. And that's the end of my session today.
How about more questions? We still got 5 minutes if anybody wants any questions to be answered.
Well, because she can separate, because she just said.
Hmm?
If you can separate them,
what?
the faith from
Nisha Ben, please can you share your contact address so that we can contact you?
the
Yeah, sure. I can put my email address in the comment box, and then you guys can just copy and paste it.
Thank you very much.
Okay. There we go.
Nishaji, could you share one or two go-to techniques that people can use in the moment when anxiety strikes?
Yes, absolutely. So the ones that we shared earlier, which
Oh, 1, 2,
is
3, yeah.
so the name 3 things, touch
Mm.
3 things, and say 3 things out loud that you can hear.
Mm.
Another one is the box breathing. So you breathe in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4, breathe out for 4,
Yeah.
hold it for 4, and then just repeat that. And another one, a really quick and easy one you can do is just jump around. If your knees allow you to, jump around. It will change your emotions immediately.
Absolutely. So, how effective are breathing or grounding techniques? And do you have a favorite one?
I do. I do the box breathing. I
Okay.
also practice that a lot with my children. If they are feeling sort of out of sync, I try
Mm.
to get them to do that. Sometimes it works with them, sometimes it doesn't, because you know what children are like.
Yeah.
Um, does it work? 100%. And the reason I will tell you it works is because when you experience anxiety, notice how your breath changes, right? Your breath, it will be faster and shallower. When we do breath work, we're slowing it back down. And when we're slowing it back down, we are sending messages to our brain to say, I am safe, I am calm, everything is fine. And it will re regulate your nervous system. So it works.
It does, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's like you are the child and your brain is your parent. So you have to let your parent know what is actually happening. And I want to do this, I want to do this. So for someone with a very busy or overwhelmed mind, how
Mm.
can they realistically start applying these tools in daily life?
So you just do it is one answer. So you notice it and just you can box breathe anywhere, right? You could be at your office desk, you could be in the queue, you can be on the bus. Like nobody's gonna know that you are doing box breathing. If you are jumping around, everybody's gonna see that. Yeah, okay. Maybe
Okay,
not do that in
she's
public if
mad.
you feel uncomfortable, right? They may have other conversations with you about that. Um, Journal it. No one's gonna see what you're writing.
Mm.
What type, if you really don't have pen and paper there and you type it in your phone, at least it's not as effective as writing it, because there's something about neurological connections when we physically write as opposed to using our thumbs on a phone. um, but if it's something you experience regularly, do something about it. Do, and I mean permanently, go and run it through hypnotherapy and find out why you are experiencing it, because there's only so long that you can spend putting a plaster on a wound, right? You want to heal it as opposed to constantly just covering it up. Like, how long do you really want to do that for? That's a personal question. Like, that would be up to the person to kind of decide
Mm.
how they want to continue forward with that.
Nisha,
Hi.
I'm sorry that I was a bit late joining tonight. So I don't know whether you mentioned one of the yoga processes which I use, and I find it very helpful if I'm sort of short of breath and I want to calm myself down. I use alternative nostril breathing,
Mm,
and that really works for me.
yeah, that is a brilliant one to do as well. So any form of breath work, whatever works for you, is fine. The only thing with the alternative nose breathing is if, for example, someone's sitting in an office, they may not want someone to see that they're doing it. So for
Yeah.
anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, alternative nose breathing is where you basically block one side of your nose, right? And you breathe in from one side, then you hold it, you cover the other side, and you breathe out. Then you do that back up from the left, out from the right, and you repeat that cycle 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, wherever you need to calm your nervous system down. But that's something that other people will see. If you want to be more discreet, then do the box breathing or do the name 3 things, touch 3 things, say 3 things out, because you can just whisper that out or just say it in your mind.
Mhm.
Also, I believe that if you're chanting away in your mind, that would help as well. So you can
Definitely,
chant,
yeah.
yeah, chant anything, not just spiritual, but anything. For example, I am owning 10 million pounds immediately. That you can chant, and you know what? It works.
Yeah. It does, because it stops you from thinking about the future. Like
Yeah.
you are right here, right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just one question. Sorry, Nisha, we are over time, but just wanted to ask you, sometimes you constantly self-assessing your things when you have gone through some situations, and sometimes you're trying to find faults in yourself because I did this, did I do this wrong? Did I do this not right? And so self-assessing yourself, does that come under anxiety as well?
Not necessarily. Like self-assessment is you thinking about, what I understand about self-assessment is you are thinking about how you previously behaved, or how you already did something. Anxiety is worrying about something that hasn't happened yet. Okay. With self-assessment, just be cautious of what your intention is when you are doing it. So if you are assessing yourself to then criticize yourself, that's not going to be good for you. If you are assessing yourself to say that, okay, now I know what I need to improve, and then take active steps to go and improve it, that's a good thing. That's self-reflection, and you use that to improve and make progress in your life. But where you are assessing yourself and criticizing yourself, that needs to be looked at. Okay, because what that is telling us is there's this deep underlying belief that you have, and now your brain is constantly looking for evidence around you to support your belief. And that works whether your belief is negative or positive. If your belief is a good belief to have, like, I don't know, I master anything that I do. And if that is your belief, your brain will look for evidence that you master everything that you do. If your belief is I am crap at everything, I am terrible at doing everything, your brain will look for evidence to support that belief, because to do anything different puts your brain in a state of unsafety. Remember, your brain's only job is to keep you alive and keep you safe. And it will go to whatever measures it has to for that to happen.
Yeah, because sometimes it's the assumption nothing has happened yet, but then you think, oh, this will happen. Maybe I've said something not right, or I've done something not right, or maybe I've behaved in certain way which was not right. So something will happen. So it's the assumption, and it might not even be there, or it might not have, it might not have affected whatever it was, but it's your mind. So, that's what I wanted to know, what is the connection between that and the anxiety? That's what I wanted to know.
I think a lot of what you're saying is more to do with low self-esteem. There's a lack of confidence in that. And it's more self-criticism than anything else.
Worries as well.
Pardon?
Worry.
Yeah, but you're worried, you're fearing the judgment of
Fearing the
others.
judgment for yourself. Yes.
Fearing the
Yeah,
judgment of
absolutely.
others.
You said it, fearing the judgment or the outcome when you see somebody next time, or, is it, what kind of behavior that's going to be, is worrying about that more than anything else, even though.
Yeah, so if that worry is about something that hasn't happened yet. So for example, and think of anxiety as a formula. Anxiety equals fear plus future.
Mm.
And then you will be able to decide what applies to you. Is it anxiety? Are you having a fear about something in the future? Or are you just fearing people's judgment?
Or trying to be the best all the time.
You're overthinking, Kalpana. Overthinking.
But actually, this is such a common issue. Such a common issue. Because of the way we were conditioned when we were children. Such a common issue. This is how things show up as adults.
Yeah.
And nobody
And I
talks.
know that's why she's saying you're overthinking.
Yes. And I have told you before. Yes. So Nishaji, what kind of changes can someone expect to feel after a group hypnosis sessions like today? What do we expect from that?
For a group one, because it's so generic, I wouldn't expect anything major to come from this
No.
because we're not working on something that's personal to you.
Yeah.
When we do personalized sessions, I mean, this stuff goes way deeper when it's personalized. And the change that comes from a personalized session is you cannot even describe it. I mean, it transforms people's lives. I had a lady who came in with food addiction. Her addiction was so bad that she actually said that if she could just live 2 more years, that would be great for her because she already lost her father and her younger brother from the same things, and she was heading that way. She was a lady of 54 years old. Her metabolism was of someone in their late 60s. She came and had some sessions with me. Her doctors weren't able to help her. She was praying. She was a highly successful businesswoman. She was paying excessive, like thousands every month on private medical care. None of the doctors were able to help her. She came for hypnotherapy. Within 2 weeks, her metabolism went down to someone in the early 40s. She lost a lot of weight, right? She gained confidence. She's super healthy. And her doctors were asking her, how did she turn her life around so quickly? So quickly.
It does work. I do believe in this
It
hypnotism
definitely
thing.
works. And now
It,
she
it
doesn't,
definitely works.
and now she doesn't even want to eat unless she's hungry. And even when she is hungry, now she'll only choose healthy things.
Good on her. But then, do you do one-to-one? Because then, if our participants come to you as GAA participant, would you be also giving them a discount if you do charge?
That would be something I'll have to have a think about. I mean, my pricing isn't generally that high anyway because I want it to be so accessible to people and show them that there are real treatments out there that work. And for that reason, I already priced reasonably. I mean, compared to probably most other therapists that you'll ever find. For that reason. But that we can always have that conversation offline.
Okay, so you have given your email and your contact number if people wanted to come to
It'll
you.
be email, yeah. It'll be by email. But if
Via
people want to
email.
direct message me on like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, I'm on all of those as well. So feel free to do that, everybody.
Okay.
But yeah, your life is your responsibility, and I really hope you guys know that the right help is there. It is out there.
Okay, thank you very much. I would also like to point out, where are you based? Where are you based, Nisha ji?
I'm London based. However, all sessions are online.
Online.
All
Okay.
sessions are online, yeah.
Okay, before we say thank you to Nisha ji, I would also like to point out that our 3 sessions, which is going to start again on the 7th and 14th and 21st of August by Imperial College. And as you know, we did one session with Imperial College and we had about 120 people joining in. People were crying that we can't log in because we were overrated. But for this next one, we have enough capacity for everybody to join in. So please try and join in for the Imperial College as they are very popular and like to teach us more. It's more about the body, bones, and nerves, and all those kind of things which we need to learn ourselves. So thank you so much, Nisha. That was incredibly insightful and calming session. You've given us not just a deeper understanding of anxiety, but also practical tools and techniques that we can begin using right away. And please do make use of it. It does help. As a lot of people do suffer with anxiety, which they don't even know they do suffer, but they're practicing it. And to everyone who joined us, thank you for being here, for showing up for your mental well-being and for creating such a supportive and respectful space. We truly hope this session helped you feel a little lighter, a little clearer, and more empowered. That's the main thing. We need to be empowered. So remember small steps, practice consistently, which can lead to big shifts. Even taking just one tool from today and applying it, it can be a powerful start. So if today's session resonated with you, please feel free to share your thoughts in the chat or reach out after, and do spread the word. Your participations help strengthen our community. And on behalf of GAA London, thank you again to Nisha and to all of you. Stay well and stay mindful until next time. So, not forgetting, next Thursday, we have Imperial College joining us again for 3 sessions. Take care. Good night. Shubharatri. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Nishaji. That was a wonderful session.
You're very
Are you
welcome.
on YouTube?
Thank
No,
you.
I'm not on YouTube. No.
No? Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Nishaben.
Thank
Good
you.
night,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Good
Thank
night,
you,
all.
guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Panna.
Lovely program.